Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to join a basic bodice. Enjoy the video guys. You will need the following items. You need some pins, and I've got mine right here. You would also need your tailor's chalk or fabric marker. You need your fabric scissors. You'd also need your paper scissors, and you only need this if you've not already cut out your basic bodice. You'd also need your marker, and the marker is basically just to label your basic bodice appropriately. You need some fabric, so I've got my muslin fabric here, or tero as we call it locally, and of course you need the basic bodice. This one was drafted to fit the body form or the dress form that I have. Go ahead and label the basic bodice appropriately. So you want to label the center front, the center back, the side front, and the center side back appropriately. You also want to go ahead and mark out all the allowances that you will need. So basically you want an allowance of half an inch, sewing allowance of half an inch around the neckline, half an inch around the shoulder, half an inch around the armholes, half an inch at the bottom. And then you want to add 1 inch to the center back, 1 inch to the side back and side front, and of course the center front will be unfold. So whenever you see that sign at the center front, it just means unfold. And as you can see, I've gone ahead to add all my allowances as it should be. After adding out the allowances, go ahead and cut out the basic bodice, so you have the front basic bodice and the back basic bodice. Again, if you don't know how to draft a basic bodice, do check out the video that I have linked in the iCards above, as well as in the description bar below, showing you how to draft your basic bodice. After cutting out the basic bodice, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, like I said, that sign signifies that it's unfold. So basically the next thing to do is to cut out our fabric, our muslin fabric. So you're going to go ahead and fold your fabric into two, just like I'm doing right now. After folding the fabric into two, you want to locate the folded edge of the fabric, which is going to be the center front edge, and then you want to go ahead and place the front pattern or the front block on it, making sure the center front edge of the pattern aligns with the folded edge of the fabric. You want to pin it into position, and then go ahead and pin the pattern down nicely and flat on the fabric. After pinning the pattern down to the fabric, go ahead and mark out all the allowances as reaching on the pattern piece. So again, you want to add 1 inch to the side front, half an inch to the armhole, half an inch to the shoulder, half an inch to the neckline. And for this purpose, because we're not joining to any bodice, at the bottom you will not be adding anything to the waist area. Just for this video, if you are adding it or joining it to a skirt, you will add half an inch to the waist area. But like I said, we are not joining this to a skirt. I just want to show you how to join a basic bodice, so you do not need to add anything to the waist area. After cutting out the front piece of fabric using the pattern as a template, go ahead and cut out the back. So again, you want to go ahead and pin the back piece onto the fabric, making sure you have enough space for allowance all around the piece. And then you want to go ahead and mark out the sewing allowance that you require. 1 inch at the center back, half an inch at the neckline, half an inch at the shoulder, half an inch at the armhole, 1 inch at the side back. And then again, of course, we're not adding anything to the waist area. After adding all the allowances, you can go ahead and cut it out as shown. Now that we've cut out both pieces, the next thing to do is to indicate the dart. And to do that, what I like to do, that's my method, is I just like to snip the dart legs just a little bit. So you see where you have the long lines of the dart, you basically just want to snip it just a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch. You just have that snip right there, and it would help you locate where you should be sewing your dart to. You would also need to locate the dart apex, and in this case, where you have the front bodice, the dart apex is basically where the bust point or the nipple point is. However, like I said, because we're working with the front, you cannot sew your dart up until this point because you're going to have it protruding and it's going to look really awkward. So what I recommend and what you need to do is from the dart apex, you want to measure 1.5 centimeters up and then 1.5 centimeters down. So 1.5 centimeters up, that will be towards the shoulder dart, and then 1.5 centimeters down towards the waist dart. And that will be your new dart apex for the shoulder and the waist dart respectively. After locating the new dart apex, go ahead and mark the dart apex, and what I like to do is I like to pierce a pin through the pattern paper and the fabric, and then go ahead and mark it at the back. Gently remove the pins at the top and then go ahead and mark it on the other side of the fabric as well. After notching the dart legs and marking out the dart apex, this is what the legs should look like. So to sew your dart in place, you want to go ahead and fold it into two just like I've done, making sure the notches meet, and then you want to go ahead and sew along a slant line from the dart legs towards the apex where you marked out. Alternatively, you can go ahead and use a ruler and draw out the shape. So you want to connect the legs to the apex with a ruler just like I'm doing right now, and then you want to go ahead and fold it into two again just like I'm showing you right now, making sure the notches meet, and you want to go ahead and sew using the line that you've drawn as a guide. After sewing the darts in place, this is what the front bodice looks like. And as you can see, I haven't done anything different, but you can see that little bust shape that it has. That's in accordance to the bust measurement of the person that you've taken. And that's why pattern is so important. Pattern is actually made to fit. So the next thing to do is to move on to the back. And again, you want to mark your dart legs and your dart apex. In this case, you don't need to lower your dart apex because we're doing this for the back. So just go ahead and pierce a pin through and mark the dart apex exactly as it is. After sewing the back darts, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, I went ahead to hold the two back pieces together at the center back with a pin. Go ahead and place the front piece on the back piece so that the right sides are facing each other, and next you want to match the shoulder. When you're matching the shoulder, you want to make sure that the shoulder darts meet, and then you also want to make sure that the dart on the front is in the right position so it's not protruding. If you move it to the left and it's protruding, you want to try and move it to the right where it should align properly. After positioning the dart, go ahead and pin the shoulders together just like I'm doing. You also want to make sure that the seams on the shoulder or the darts on the shoulder match. That's very important. And then you want to go ahead, pin it together and mark out the sewing allowance of 1/2 inch on both shoulders. After marking out the sewing allowance on both shoulders, go ahead and sew. After sewing, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, the shoulder darts meet really nicely. The next thing to do is to join the sides. So you want to position the pieces so that the right sides are facing each other again. Pin the sides together and mark out the sewing allowance of 1 inch. You want to repeat this on the other side, and then you want to go ahead and sew along the marks. After sewing the sides together, this is what it looks like, and at this point you are nearly finished, and the last thing to do is to install the zipper. If you don't know how to fix the zipper onto the bodice, you want to go ahead and check out the video that I've linked in the iCards above, as well as in the description bar below, where I show you how to fix a zipper properly. Go ahead and fix the zipper so that you have your zipper looking nice, and that's it guys. We have come to the end of this video. Alright guys, just to quickly show you how the bodice fits the dress form. Now we have to remember that the dress form is not a perfect human body, and this particular one actually has a lot of imperfections. However, I just wanted to show you how the bodice should look and how, you know, when you use a pattern, the difference is you can see that the back doesn't bulge, it's laying flat, and you can see that the neck fits nicely. Everything just looks really snug. If it was a human being, it would actually come out really nice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was worth your while. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to leave your comment suggestions and feedback in the comment section below. And also guys, before I forget, I was just going to let you know that if you enjoyed the pattern making series, I'm going to continue. I'm going to teach you how to make asymmetrical necklines and just different fun things that you can do with pattern, how to, you know, dart manipulation, how to shift your darts, how to pivot your darts, and all these things. So if that's something that you like to see, give this video a thumbs up so I know that you guys are absolutely interested. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.